Hello everyone, and welcome to my second video where I'll be teaching you, the basic of array. Like I said, with the first video, I said I'm gonna immediately start working on the second one, and here it is. I want to keep it short and simple, but I kind of forgot to even bother explaining what a data structure is with my first one, so I'll be explaining it. Simplest term, a data structure is a way of organizing and storing data so that it can be used efficiently. Think of it as like a special container or a tool that helps you arrange and manage data in a specific way. So let's say you have a bookshelf, an empty bookshelf, but with books all over the floor. Data structure is that tool that helps you arrange them and neatly sort them into the bookshelf, basically. So with that out of the way, let's go through Java or arrays in Java. And I'm using Java because that's the language I'm most familiar with. I will try to see in the future if I can make a separate playlist with Python specifically for future. But I don't even know if I can. I'm hoping I can commit to this first of all. But anyway. So an array in Java is a data structure used to store multiple values of the same type in a single variable. Think of it as like a container or a box, and each little box, think of it as like a big box, but each has like a sort of a divider. Or just look at what I have right here, and on the inside of the box, it has like a different value. And below it, think of this as like an imaginary location. You would basically assign each individual box with a special number from 0 all the way to n, which is however long that box is. But for example, right here, we have the value, and then this is the index, which is the length of how long the box is. And you start off with 0 and end with however long, but -1. So this is 5. But 5 minus 1, which makes it 4. So let's go with the very first easiest thing, declare an array. This is how you declare it. To create an array, you just need to specify the data type and the number of element it will hold. So here's the data type, which is int, name, and then number of elements which it will hold, which will be 5. So, it creates 5 little boxes. Now to do that, next step would be to initialize, because what you have right here is just 5 empty boxes. You need to add value into it. And with this declaring an array, you can do the next step, which is to assign each one. So 0, which is right here, and I already have it. 0, which is value of 3, so I just do that, and you sort of just repeat the process until you have everything. So nums index 2, that will be value of 9. Nums index 3, that will be value of 7. And the numbers index 4, that will be value of 6. That's how you do it. That's one way, which is assigning values individually. Another way to do it is you can just do it by direct initialization. So all you have to do is type, which is int again, the name, numbers, and then you just put the bracket and then put the value in. 3, 4, 9, 7, 6. And that's it. That pretty much is sort of, obviously it's easier that way. You can just do that. That is the second method. Now, even though you create it, if you want to see like what's, all the numbers, all the values, you obviously need to print it out. But with the printing, it's sort of like you have to put numbers and then the index. So let's say if I want to get the value of 4 out, I put numbers index 1. When printing, it should print out 4. Yep. And then let's say if I want the number 7, it will be index 3. And there you go. That's 7. That's how you access array elements. So yeah, basically each element in an array is accessed using its index starting from 0. Now the next important and basic stuff about array is you want to know, so let's say if the array has like a whole bunch of numbers, just randomly like this, a bunch of big numbers that you don't understand, you're looking at it and you're just like, okay, I'm not going to count all of that. There's no point, like I'm not going to count all of that. So how exactly can I figure that out? All you have to do is just numbers.length, and it'll print out the length. So right here, it looks like we have basically 14 elements inside. And that 7 is just that, but so I'm just gonna ignore that. Now you can find the number of elements in an array using .length. And what's good about it is let's say if you want to print all the numbers out from here to here, and then in a for loop, you can create a for loop with int I being 0, and I is less than, numbers.length. This way, you don't have to, if you don't feel like writing, print out what numbers length is, you can just do this and then I plus. This way, it'll just do it for you. You don't even have to know how long it is. They'll just do it for you. And then just print it out. Numbers, and then I. Now it's going to go through every single one of these numbers, starting from 0 and then all the way to, basically, to the end. And there you go. See? 3, 4, 9, 7, blah, 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 blah. All that. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know why I did that, but, got lazy. There's another way to do it. Rather than, if you don't want to type all of this out, you can just put int num and then numbers, and then instead of this, you can just put num. Same thing, easy. Now another something that sort of is just very basic is Java basically also supports 2D array, which are like tables. In order to create that, we can just do int 2 bracket, and give it a name, matrix, we'll call it that, and then put the value in. So 1, 2, 3, let's do that, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Easy. Now let's say that I want to print out the number 6. Keep in mind, even if you were to create a multi-dimensional array, so let's say with this 2D over here, row 1 is still technically a row 0. Below it would be row 1. And after that will be row 2. It's the same thing with column. Column 0, column 1, column 2. If I want to say I want the value of 8, then all I have to do is type out matrix, which is the name, first box right here. I want it's row first, so row 2. So I just put 2, and then the next one will be column 1. So column 1, and boom, it'll print out number 8. And then it's not something to I'm not trying to like show everything. Try it out yourself. This is the very basic. Some key points to sort of remember. Array have a fixed size, meaning once they are created like this, you can no longer change the size. Same goes with the other one, which was like this. Once you create the size, which is just 3, you can no longer change it. All right. Another thing, which I already explained earlier, array indexing always starts from 0. And arrays, once you assigned an array, it will only store that certain type of data. So array store only one type of data. So if it's integer, it will just only be numbers only. If it's strings, it will be strings. You cannot mix those two together. then you know you can use loops to process arrays like efficiently. Something like that. Now, some people will probably say like if you know they probably have done it, which was to obviously import Java or import the array. You don't need to import anything to use array in Java, but array, because like arrays are already built into the Java language. But if you want to advance like functions like array list, which is a dynamic array, then you do need to import it. Oh, look, see, it already shows like that too. But I'm not using it. See, I was like, I import it, but it's never used. That's because this is already like this thing right here. It's part of Java. So, but for now, this is the very basic of what arrays are. Thank you.